Welcome to another episode of the Computer Programming University. Alright, that's completely unnecessary. Now let me get my big noggin out of the way so we have more room to play. So what we're working on is a quiz creation script for my subscribers so that they can actually practice a lot of the stuff that I teach here. So you can create your own custom quizzes that are interactive. So yesterday we just basically did the pseudo code, which is basically kind of an outline, guideline of what we want to accomplish. So it's pretty simple. I can run through this really quickly. So, a little refresher from yesterday. So a little note, it's a quiz program. We initiate the variables here, score equals 0, Q number, question number equals 0, and points equals 0. Then the questions begin. First question is, and actually this should be question number 1. I don't know where the number went. Yes, he says question number 2, so I guess that was not done yesterday. So so question number 1, there we go. So question number 1, and then we add 1 to question number. So we're gonna keep tabs of the question numbers. We have to keep track of them because that's basically gonna be critical for scoring, right? It's how many questions, how many wrong, how many right. So add 1 to question number. Then it's going to prompt you the question, read input from the user, convert it to a variable called answer, and then we're going to process the answer by printing it out, update the score. So if you got it right, you get a point. Didn't get it right, you don't get a point. And then, and this is going to be based on this, right? If the answer that you entered is the same as the correct answer, then the points equals $points, blah, blah, blah. And then it's going to print out what the correct answer should have been. Right, so I think that's good. Actually, we made a little mistake here. I see I'm printing out the correct answer here. So ask the question, you give an answer, and then it automatically gives you the answer. So actually, that's fine. You can print it out directly after the user enters their answer, but why are we printing it out again? Right, there's really no need to display it here. Yeah, there's no need for that. So actually the answer is already here. That's a double block. So let's go and clean that up. We don't need that. Okay, so that's good. Score update. So there's a score being updated. And then question number 2. So same thing. We add +1 to the question number variable so we can keep track of how many questions are being asked. Ask a question, input to a variable, and then print the answer right away. Again, this double block, I probably copy that, obviously. Okay, then do a score update, and then we have the question and string here. This is for targeting purposes. We want to make this modular in the end, right? So we want this to be a modular quiz. So when you create a script, the script is going to need to be able to see where the questions begin and where they end, because if I'm going to add another question to this quiz, I want to be able to find the end of the questions so that I can add the next question right above the line right here, right? So the next question will go here, and then we'll push down the question end down to the bottom. Now, additionally, what we might want to do is actually do a quiz end and quiz begin, because we might want to have a nice clear line between the questions, because what if we wanted to shuffle the questions, right? Wouldn't it be nice to randomly shuffle the questions around so they're not always in the same order? How am I going to do that without being able to clearly identify where the questions begin and end, right? So we might want to put markers at the beginning and ending of each question. So I'll make this QZBegin, because these are markers for the entire quiz, right? So I'll be able to target the beginning and ending of the quiz, and also target the beginning and ending of the questions. So I would say this is already a good marker. It says question number 1, and then it begins, right? So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to just add a little bit more uniqueness there. So that's our standard. I want to keep a nice format. These markers have this dash dash and then something. So I'm going to say, I'm not really sure how I want to structure this. So for now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to put way out here. I'm just going to put Q begin versus QZ. So this is question begin. And then we'll do a Q end at the end of the question. So question 1, QBegin. Let's put the same thing here. Actually, what I'm going to do to keep things consistent is we can go up here and do a yank, YY, and then we'll do a P to put it here. All right, so at the end of the question, we say, I don't want to confuse this with the other one, so I'm going to say, let's call this just question end with no number. I want to be very clear about the distinction between the beginning marker and the end marker. So the end marker is with this string where you don't have the number after it, right? I'll make it even easier, right? Why not, right? This is, this is your program. You kind of know where you're headed. Why not make it easier for yourself? Make it as clear and as easy to target as possible. This is your code. This is the advantage, right? A lot of times you might be working on somebody else's code. You're kind of limited to whatever structure they set up somewhat. Here we don't have to be. So let's begin each one with a plus plus. Plus plus is beginning, minus minus is ending, right? So that's going to be our new format. So plus plus begin, plus plus begin, question end is minus minus, right? And then the quiz end is minus minus. So all we need to do is follow this format. So let's go ahead and grab this, yank. Well, gotta remember to escape. Let's go down to the next question 2. Delete that. Let's go up here. Let's do an insert. Okay. So what we want to do is make this 2. And there we go. I don't need all the space between these two. All right. And let's go ahead and grab this line right here. Yank. To the final question end. That's quiz end, actually. So let's go to question end. Question 2, answer, print answer, score update. There's 2 blocks of score updates. Let's delete that. Let's put the, all right, so there's the question end, and then there's the quiz end. And then the final scoring. So the scoring is separate from the quiz itself. And that's it. Okay, so now this looks pretty clean. So now I think I'm ready to actually start doing the coding. Let's get a little bit more space here. All right, so question 1, then you have that logic, and then it goes down answer, score update. So that's the basic logic. So now let's clean this up and make this actually work. So I'm going to use the below as a guideline to actually do the actual code. So to do this kind of math, you want to use let. So I can let qnum equal $qnum. Now, $qnum is equal to whatever qnum is equal to, and qnum is equal to 0, right? So we gave this variable qnum the value of 0. So all I'm saying is let qnum equal whatever it is, and then we can do our math. So let's come back down here. So obviously we don't want it to equal 0. We want to equal whatever the value it is. We're going to increment by 1. So I can say qnum plus 1, right? So whatever the value is, plus 1. It's currently 0, so therefore it's not going to equal 1, right? If it was 1, now it would equal 2, right? Pretty simple. So now I'm going to say echo, okay, whatever. So now we're going to prompt the user for whatever, right? So I'm going to say, let's just prompt them like a question number or something. So we can say, this is question number 1 or question 1, whatever, right? So they're going to see that. That's the first thing the user is going to see. This is question 1. A lot of times what I like to do before I start a script like this is I want to clear the screen as well. So what we can do is right up here I have my special alias that I created for my subscribers to give shout outs. So CLS, which usually clears the screen, other times it gives shout outs. So I'll say CLS. So let's just do I mean, this is unnecessary note, but whatever. Clear, I spelled it that way. All right, so let's go down here. All right, so let qnum equal qnum plus 1. This is question 1, so that's what the user is going to see. And now we need to actually read the input from the user, right? So we're changing a little bit from this. This was just a template, right? So we're gonna make it a little bit nicer. So we want to read the input. So there's actually a read command to read the user input. So it's called, well, so it's read, right? So read and then variable name. So I'm going to say answer, right? So basically we're going to read the input into this variable here. So whatever they type in is going to be now called or stored in the answer variable, right? So read answer question mark, that's the syntax, and then now you put the prompt. Whatever is in here is the prompt. So in here I can say, what is the best YouTube channel to learn Python? All right, so that's the question. And then we can prompt for the answer. So we can say the answer was CPU. Computer Programming University. Let's have fun while learning. The best place to learn Python. I got lots of awesome videos on this channel, so that is why that's the answer. But anyway, prompt the user for the answer. Now we need to actually deal with the scoring, right? So let's go down to scoring. So this is pretty good. So I think we can go ahead and get rid of all this stuff. We read the input into variable answer. We prompted the question. We added to the question number variable. So this all looks good. This is inefficient. Okay, delete all those lines. Answer, print the answer. So here we actually already printed the answer, so we can skip that and jump right to score update. So move this stuff down for reference and then actually build the actual code based on that. So first of all, I'm going to set the correct answer variable. So I'll say canswer equals CPU. All right, so that's the correct answer. So I'm setting the variable to that particular string. So now we go if, and then on Korn, we're going to do square brackets. So then we set our test condition in here. So if $answer equals $correct answer. It's a little bit different than Python. We can actually put then right here, and the next line will put what you want to happen. So I can say let points. So before I do this, so if the answer you entered is the same as the correct answer, which we've defined right here, then obviously you're going to get a point, right? So we say let points equals, same format as before. Who remembers what it was? We've done this before. Right here, right? All right, so $. So this is setting up the point. So $points plus 1, right? We're going to increment the points by 1. You just got a point. Congratulations. Oh, yeah.
And his name is John C.
Oh, yeah. CPU squad. That's entirely enough of that. All right, let's continue. And then we can let the user know that they've been awarded a point. So we can say, echo, you got 1 point. All right. And then we have to close off our if statement. So in Korn, you close it off with the reverse or inverse. So it's fee. If ends with a fee. That tells the interpreter that you're done with this. And then we can move on. So that's the score update block, which we're done with. So let's go ahead and get rid of all this stuff and close off this question block. If answer, get rid of all our pseudocode, score update. All right, so there is our first question block complete with actual code. So quiz programs, initiate the variables, and then we begin the quiz block. Under that, we begin the question block, and then in the question block, we set the question number 1, increment by 1. We just prompt the user that this is question 1. I'm going to add a space under this. This was not all jumbled up. So let's append, echo, just added a space. Then it's going to say, what is the best YouTube channel to learn Python? And then whatever you type in, I like to put a space at the end here so your answer is not right up against the question mark. So I'll put a space there. So then the next line, it's going to prompt you with the correct answer. Now keep in mind, this is an actual quiz. In order to create, we want to make an interactive quiz creator. In order to do that, we need to first create a quiz. These are the quizzes that the quiz creator will create, right? So again, first step, create a working interactive quiz. Once that works, create a tool that can create quizzes like this, right? But we got to get the quiz logic first before we can figure out the quiz creation logic, which is going to be a lot more advanced and complicated because you got to really master your quotes and all that kind of stuff, because you're going to be sending sometimes literals from the quiz creator to the quiz script, sometimes variables, and you're going to need to keep tabs on local variables with the actual quiz creation script versus variables that will be sent to the quiz creation script. And it's just, yeah, it can get a little bit messy. It's going to be fun. All right, so what I want to do now is I want to test this logic to see if it actually works at all. I just want to see if I'm going to get any errors. So all I'm going to do right now is I'm just going to comment out everything else. And in Python, it would be nice to do a multi-line comment, so I could just block out all this stuff all at once. But we don't have that option here, at least not as far as I know. This logic should be fine. I don't think this will generate any errors. Let's just see what this generates. This is not gonna, I don't think this is gonna be a problem, but just out of curiosity, I'll run this thing as is. So I just add a little note down here. We'll create a quiz creator script to build quizzes like this on the fly later on. All right, so let's give it a shot. So now, clear the screen. We want to make sure this is runnable. I'm not sure if it is or it isn't. It's not runnable right now, so let's make that happen. So change mod plus 777 quiz x.sh. So now it's executable. See that? Got all the X's. Executable, executable, executable. So now we can actually run it. I don't believe this path is in a directory, or this directory is in the path, but let's see what happens if I do quiz. Yeah, it's not in the path. That's fine. So what I'm going to do is I'll do ksh quiz, boom. No such file or directory. This is question 1. What is the best YouTube channel to learn Python? So let's say CPU. The answer was CPU. You got 1 point. Yay, yay! So it actually worked. It actually worked. Couple of errors. We gotta clean up some of these errors. So the first thing it complained about is it said quiz x.sh10 cls not found. I think we'll have to implicitly call this command. So cls is not, that's a little alias. So it's apparently Naraz Ali. Naraz Ali is really, really cool. One of my top subscribers. Very, very dedicated, very motivated. Cool guy, man. Definitely deserves his shout out. Shout out to my CPU squad.
And his name is John C.
Oh yeah. So CLS is basically an alias, and the alias basically runs this script. So I'm going to basically copy that specifically into the script itself. So instead of just CLS, I'm going to reference the actual script itself. So that should work. And now let's look for PT. So that was an error. That should be an R. All right, so let's go ahead and run this. This is question 1, so we didn't get that error anymore. What is the best channel to learn Python? Computer Programming University. Oh yeah! Score is 100 times points divided by qnum. Total questions answered is 1. 1 correct answer. Socrates was 100 divided by whatever. All right, so we'll fix that later on. But one thing I do want to correct is the Socrates whatever nonsense. So let's go down to the end, GG, and let's change this to, I don't know why I just did that. Score. There we go. All right, so we know that this actually works. So all we need to do is basically duplicate this for the second question. So what I'm going to do is I am going to actually make it easy on myself, and okay, we deleted the question end block, so let's bring that back. So that's the end of that question. Move that down. All right, so what I'm going to do now is plus and minus. Okay, so I'm going to delete all of this stuff. Question number 2, because it's basically the same thing, right? And then there's the end of the actual quiz. So what I want to do now is I want to paste right here the above code. So that's the question block, and to the end, let's go down here. All right, so now what I'm going to do is I'm just going to change this from question 1 to question 2, and it looks pretty good. So I think that's going to complete this lesson for today. All I'm going to do here is I'm just going to add additional questions, so it's not the same question, and we'll test the logic with 2 questions, because now we can actually get some kind of score. So this should say question 2. Okay, so what do the most awesome subscribers do? And I'm going to say the answer was smash that bell. That's to activate the notifications, of course, because without that, this channel will not survive. I need all the subscribers to click on the bell icon next to the subscribe button to activate notifications. Otherwise, YouTube will crush this channel and it will fade away. Fade away. I don't know what song says fade away. All right, so that's the answer. So let's go ahead and put that in here as well as your correct answer. Very important to put it in quotes because we have spaces in there and everything. So I need this to be considered as one string. And then we say, so that's the correct answer. So if whatever you type in is equal to correct answer, which is this, then you get a point. All right, so I think this is fine. So let's go ahead and run it. You can run that. All right, so let's run it again. Boom. This is question number 1. What is the best YouTube channel to learn Python? Computer Programming University. Oh, yeah.
And his name is John C.
Yeah. All right, so let's go ahead and so the answer was CPU. You got 1 point. This is question 2. Okay, so we should put a space there to separate 1 from 2. We might even want to clear the screen after every question. I'm not sure. That's something interface design. We'll figure it out. But what do the most awesome subscribers do? Smash that bell. Now, I didn't put it in quotes, but the variable is read as quotes, so it should work. So you got 1 point. Score is 100, so now it's scoring. That's the end of the quiz. Total questions answered 2. And 2 correct answers. So this is great. This is working fine. The only problem is it's not actually giving us a score. I'm going to show you a problem. Nick Cartha, another awesome subscriber. Let's go in and take a look at the... Oh, we actually, the scoring is still in pseudocode form. So that would explain why it's still having problems. So first of all, we need to set these variables in terms of what data type. So in Korn shell, we have this wonderful thing called typeset, right? Typeset to set the data type. So typeset -f qnum, right? So we're setting it to an appropriate data type, and then just like before, we'll move the pseudocode down, just use it as reference, and build the actual logic. So let score equal 100 times, and then we put in here $points, and then we divide that by $qnum, and then we can echo. I don't know why I did that. Score is 100 times points, and this will all make sense to you when I run it. I'll explain to you what's going on. Divided by $qnum, and we have down here, I'll just put results output, and we'll say echo total questions answered. I'll say $qnum. So this is kind of giving the user back a report. So we'll say echo $points correct answers. So every question you answer correctly, you're going to get a point, right? So the total amount of points, or whatever the value of $points is going to be the amount of correct answers. So $points correct answers with an S, and then period, and then we'll go down to the next line and we'll just say echo, and you guys can't see this, score was, and then we'll show the value of score variable, and that's it. So that should work. So let's go ahead and get rid of this nonsense down here.
It's gonna happen.
It's gonna happen. What's gonna happen? Okay, thanks, Trump. Anyway, so will it happen? Will this actually happen? Will this actually work? I probably made a couple mistakes here, which I do not see currently, but let's just test it out and see what happens. Just go for it. Okay, so let's go ahead and run this. All right. So let's do CPU, best channel to learn Python. Best subscribers, SMASH DAT BELL. Boom! Look at that. Although we do have one little mistake. So it says total questions answered is 2, which is correct. 2 correct answers. Score was 100. That's kind of redundant. Total questions answered, 2 correct answers. I don't know. We'll figure out this report. Score was 100, so that is correct. We did get 100%, so we did it.
What a great group.
Hey, that's pretty good.
And this is pretty good. However, your homework assignment is to clean this up. Now, this works. I'll put the code in the description, but there's a couple mistakes here. As you can see, it's saying whence-f unknown option, usage whence afpqv name, right? So there's a problem there. See if you guys can figure that out. Figure out what they mean by whence. Whence is this question coming from? So we did a type-f qnum. So is that correct? Is it actually type-f? So basically what we're trying to do is to set the data type, right? So you have integers, float, all that kind of good stuff, right? Now we know how to set that in Python because we covered that in my Python lessons. But how do you do it in Korn? Type sounds right, but maybe it's not. That is for you guys to figure out. So that is your homework assignment. Fix this scoring so that it actually works and we stop getting that error message. The main thing that you need to do, or maybe the only thing, you decide, is how to set qnum. So qnum is a variable, and that variable contains a number, and we need to define what type that number is. Floating, integer. We need to pick a type that makes sense, and we need to use the right command and the right option for that to happen. Also qnum. Can we do qnum? Should it be $qnum? Right? That's what you guys need to figure out.
The man said no, we just sell lemonade, but it's cold and it's fresh and it's all homemade.
I'm supposed to sing a song at the end of the tutorial, so today we're singing the duck song. Oh yeah!
Tell me the duck story.
Bum bum bum, ba-dum ba-dum, a duck walked up.
A dog walked up to a corner store, and he said to the woman running the store, "Hey, got any grapes?" Bum bum bum. The woman said, "It's a corner store. I mean, grapes aren't really what they were known for. We've got some grape drinks." The duck said, "Hey, they kind of stink." Then he waddled away till the very next day when the duck walked up to the corner store, and he said to the woman running the store, "Hey, got any grapes?" Oh man, this song is crazy. All right, this is Computer Programming University, where the first step is a smile. Let's have fun while learning. Shout out to my CPU squad. You should join the CPU squad. Certainly subscribe, but also click on the bell. Don't even click on the bell, actually. Smash the bell. Smash the notification icon next to the subscribed button. That's the only way this channel can survive. I'm not a full-time YouTuber, so I have limited time. I try to do as much content as possible, but on this platform, they want you to be posting videos every single day. I can't do that. So if you appreciate this type of content and you want me to do more videos and you want to support the channel, subscribe and also click on the bell. Otherwise, when you subscribe, you're not going to know when I post new videos, right? That's for this channel that you click on the bell. Also, if you like this video, click on the like button and comment below. Everybody comment below, even if you say hi. As much engagement as possible, the better for the growth of the channel, which allows me to do more content like this for awesome people just like you. Bum, 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 bum. All right, CPU squad out. Here.